Hello, I'm Joshua Unruh, your superhero scholar. A while back, I recorded some short segments for another comic book podcast on the absolute bonkers nature of comics in the earliest days of superheroes. They're still available on that show, but I thought you, my loyal listeners, might like another crack at them. They're from earlier in my podcasting career, so please forgive any lack of quality, audio or otherwise. Without further delay, welcome to my very irregularly updated new segment, What the F***, Golden Age? Hello, and welcome to another What the F***, Golden Age? I'm your host, Joshua Unruh. We're going to do something a little different for the next few installments of WTF GA. Okay, it's a lot different. We're going to do a theme, and we're going to look at some characters that were popular during the Golden Age of comics, but not actually in comics. At least not until well after the Golden Age. I recently read the 2012 limited series Masks from Dynamite Comics. It's written by Chris Roberson, with art by Alex Ross and Dennis Calero. It stars a collection of mystery men and one mystery woman in the greatest team-up the 1930s and 40s had to offer. I'm actually a huge fan of a lot of the characters they cover in this series. I've followed many of them since I was a teenager, and while I'm technically breaking the rules of WTFGA, which I also made up, I am doing it in a way that honors the spirit of the law, if not the letter. Golden Age characters who've been in comics, even if it wasn't actually during the Golden Age. Seems legit, right? Whatever, it's my show. Only God can judge me. So just who are all these mystery men? We'll go into more detail about each one in this series' further installments, but the crime fighters in masks are the Shadow, the Green Hornet and Kato, the Spider, the Black Bat, Miss Fury, the Green Llama, the Black Terror, and Zorro? What the f*** is Zorro even doing in this book, you guys? I honestly don't know. But more on Zorro later. First, we have to talk a little about mystery men, as this may be a new thing for my listeners. Mystery men are typically rich and or important guys who become masked avengers. They hide behind another identity in order to fight crime, corruption, and evil people bent on terrible schemes. They are not, however, superheroes. You can tell because they don't have superpowers, they don't have costumes, and they don't have supervillains. Oh sure, the Shadow's ability to cloud men's minds borders on telepathy. And real talk, Green Hornet's mask is baller as hell, y'all. And one of the Spider's bad guys even planned to attack upstate New York with a menagerie of rabies-infected animals. But hypnosis ain't a superpower, a mask ain't a costume, and it takes more than one grand scheme to be a proper supervillain. Still, the superhero owes the mystery man a great debt. In much the same way that Superman is heir to the hero pulps, like Doc Savage, Batman is heir to the mystery man. The Dark Knight actually started his long and storied publishing career as a blatant ripoff of the Shadow squeezed into a superhero's skin-tight muscle man suit. Now, it is a well-known fact that Bob Kane, alleged creator of Batman, was a goddamn hack. But believe it or not, this is not the sole reason for the lift from the Shadow. As I've mentioned before, nobody in the Golden Age was quite sure what it meant to be a superhero yet. It'd take a few years, the shooting of a couple vampires, and the introduction of a certain murder clown to solidify Batman's superhero cred. So, a quick review of Masks. I am a big fan of Chris Roberson's work. I love Edison Rex. iZombie is great, and From Fabletown with Love deserves to be read over and over, you guys. And he knows his business when it comes to pulp and radio show heroes. I've bought a couple of reference books on that stuff from Monkey Brain Press, and they have his name on them in some capacity. I am on record as enjoying Roberson yarns and believing that this is his jam. I've also been a big fan of Alex Ross. He combines a hyper-realistic painted style with the willingness to leave everything about a superhero's outfit completely unchanged, no matter how ridiculous. There are wrinkles in his Superman's cape. His Batman wears tights, you guys. I believe this is my first brush with Dennis Calero, but he's incredibly talented, and he nails the characters and the action moments of this book. But Alex Ross's paintings are just that. They're paintings. They aren't comic book panels, no matter how many comic books they go into. as beautiful as they are, as well rendered as they are, they just feel lifeless. They don't feel like there's any movement to them. As for the writing, there are moments in this book that absolutely shine, and there are lines that made me squeal with delight, and then read them to other people who also squealed with delight. But there is both way too much and way too little going on in this series. The plot is great. It's taken from a spider novel that I'll tell you about later, but it gets downgraded to just okay by not having enough room to breathe. We don't spend enough time on it, and we don't spend enough time on it because we're too busy introducing all the characters. And there are so many characters. Most of them don't really get a fair shake. The Shadow is amazing, but the Spider's kinda goofy, and guys, he should be at least as terrifying as the Shadow. The fact that the Black Terror is a pharmacist in his day job leads to a lot of terrible doctor puns that don't entirely make sense for either identity. Miss Fury and the Green Llama aren't even really characters, they're more like action figures running through the story. And then there's still Zorro. Seriously, what the is Zorro doing in this story? And that'll bring us to the end of this episode of WTFGA. I hope you're looking forward to hearing about some of my favorite characters who appeared in Dynamite's masks. Not to mention the couple even I had to look up. If you'd like to read the series, there will be a link in the show notes to Comixology. Let's say I can recommend it with some fairly serious reservations. In the meantime, look for me on Twitter, @JoshuaUnruh. You can ask me any questions, make suggestions, or tell me what you think of Masks as you read it. Hashtag it WTFGA so everyone can play. Until next time, I'm Joshua Unruh, encouraging you to wonder, what the Golden Age? WTF Golden Age is a Pulp Diction Productions program and is 100% supported by listeners like you. To find out how you can keep this and our other shows in production, check out patreon.com/pulpdictionproductions. And if you can't support us financially, please leave the show a rating and review on iTunes. It's the best way to help others discover the show and join the conversation. Keep up with everything we're doing at www.pulpdiction.biz or find us at www.facebook.com/pulpdictionproductions.